All right, so I obviously don't think that any of the reasons that people have for having children are particularly valid, but I still find them interesting to sort of read into nonetheless, and sort of observe from a people watching standpoint. And one that I've been keying in on or noticing a lot recently as people around me are having children and are announcing their pregnancies and all that kind of stuff, um, is the cuddles and the Kodak moments, which I know is not a particularly new observation, but I do want to talk about it a little bit here. So to me, it seems like a lot of people, this line of reasoning for having a child goes that people want a little thing that they can cuddle with. It'll be cute, um, you know, like a dog or something. Like you're watching TV on a Saturday, and this thing cuddles up with you, and makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, and there's that affection, right? Um, or you've got this newborn baby, and it's totally helpless, and you feel good because you're holding it, taking care of it. People like that, like cuddly feeling. Of course, that whole cuddle thing, like that, you're having this child for the cuddle thing, maybe, which is like, how long does that actually last? The cuddle thing lasts from like age 0 to whenever the child becomes old enough to feel uncomfortable about it, which is probably, I don't know, mm, maybe 10, maybe 8. I don't know. I like have not really spent a lot of time around kids, but I imagine maybe it's somewhere around there, maybe 12. Maybe even those numbers are late. It may even be 6. I'm not sure. But regardless, you're making this whole person basically because you want this like thing that is cute, you think, and that you can cuddle, up to a certain age, right? And then you're not cuddling them anymore for sure. That's like weird. And so you have this person that has to live for 85 years or so because you want to have a cute thing to cuddle for, I don't know, 8-10 years, right? To me, that's just complete nonsense. That's like what they make dogs for. That's literally like the role of a dog, basically, is to be a cute thing that you can adore and cuddle for like 10 to 12 years. So to me, that's just total nonsense. The other thing that I think goes along with this is like the Kodak moment thing, meaning like there are these sort of picturesque moments, or these like charming moments, where that people like really romanticize. So maybe the family vacation to the beach, or the child losing their first tooth, or the child playing the football game, or graduating from high school, getting married, having a child of their own, buying a house. These moments that are big, like milestones that you put on Facebook that you take a picture of and get a bunch of likes, right? So to me, I feel like I get the impression that a lot of parents really go wild for those Kodak moments, and they're really into the sentimental, like, picturesqueness of it, and they're into the cuddling aspect of it, right? And so what's crazy to me is that, okay, the cuddling thing, that's maybe 8 years, and then the Kodak moments combined, let's give those another year's worth of value. They certainly probably don't add up to a year in terms of literal time, but let's give them like a year's worth of value. So you basically made this whole person, that has to live for 85 years for this incredibly short span of time that you get to experience the things from them that you want to experience. So you made a person for this, cumulative 9 years of joy that you get for like a selfish sort of reason. And actually, even within that, even within those years that the children are hospitable or agreeable to cuddling, it's not like you're cuddling with them every moment of every day. You are cuddling with them maybe 5 or 10% of the time, like being generous, let's say 10%. So you basically have a year of combined cuddling and a years worth of these combined picturesque moments, Kodak moments. And so you make a person live through 85 years on a dying planet where animals are being tortured every day. You make them have to figure out their job path. You make them have to go through difficult relationships. You have maybe be bullied, have to get out of bed in the morning when they don't want to and go to school or go to work. You make them have to plan for retirement. You make them have to either work to have health care or just not have health care. You may be making someone with a disability. You may be making somebody that is depressed. You may be making somebody that is just not interested in playing this game, but they're sort of obligated to keep playing it because there's no humane way to leave, which is not the same thing as being depressed. So because you want, that those experiences, you selfishly want those experiences, the cuddling, the Kodak moments, you're willing to put somebody through all of that. To me, that is just shocking. It's absurd. It's selfish. It's pointless. There's so much time that we as individuals just have to endure and be alive and be conscious that we certainly don't get pleasure from. Our parents don't get pleasure from. We're there just because we have to be there, right? And to me, that's just extremely frustrating, disgusting. Maybe one of the most frustrating aspects for me of natalism. And, let's compare that with the alternative here for a moment. Instead of choosing to bring a new person in to experience all this stuff, to, figure everything out and hopefully line up all their ducks in a row and then retire and then have a peaceful death and just, put up with all the taxes and the phone calls and the medical bills and the, urgent emails and the BS along the way. Like, instead of bringing someone into that, you could, make some meaning for yourself with your partner, or maybe find Kodak moments in other ways. Maybe you go on a vacation to the mountains. Maybe you, do other things that are not just like, let's make a being so we can take pictures of it and get off on that. You can satisfy your need for cuddling in other ways. Maybe you have a romantic partner. Maybe, you have a dog that you pet that you have that caretaking instinct for, and you pet it. So to me, I see this cuddling and this Kodak moment reason for having children fairly often and from a lot of people. And I just think it's gross, and I wanted to make this video about it. So I think I'm going to call it a day on that and talk to you in the next one here.